from the United Kingdom in Surrey. I'd like to welcome Arshad Hamid. Arshad, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and Jazakallah so much for joining us.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, and it's a great honor for me to be on your program.
No, it's an absolute pleasure to host you. So, Arshad, talk to us about Ramadan in the United Kingdom. I've been seeing a lot of social media posts about massive iftars that are happening, but let's first focus on Surrey and how Ramadan is observed in that part of the United Kingdom.
Well, yes, Surrey has got two big universities, Royal Holloway and Surrey University. And traditionally, the communities support the students at those universities. I'm very familiar with Royal Holloway, which is in Egham. And Egham is a very historic place because this is where the Magna Carta was signed at Runnymede Fields 800 years ago, where King John had he faced a rebellion of his lords. They wanted to limit the absolute power of the monarch, and so this Magna Carta, this great charter, was signed at this place. So it's a very, very historical place, and we have recently found a building nearby between the university and this Magna Carta field, where we hope, inshallah, to set up our first masjid in Egham. So we have about 600 students, mostly from foreign students, and we sort of act as parents, parents in absence for them. We have a sort of pastoral role for them. My wife Mariam here is very active with the female students. We provide hot food for them during Ramadan, and the ladies of our community, they cook food every day, and we have a rota system. So the students all have a feeling of home, being away from home, but also feeling part of this living example of the Ummah, because our community is very diverse. We have got people from every continent, from every language group, from every race. And alhamdulillah, we've got a very lively time during Ramadan, because it's a time when we have our Taraweeh prayers and we have our Eid prayers. And usually, when the weather's fine, we actually do our prayers in the open on the fields there near Runnymede. So it's a very exciting time for us at this time of the year.
Alhamdulillah. Arshad, I've been seeing a lot of massive iftars happening. I saw it at Stamford Bridge, the home of Chelsea Football Club. I saw it at Villa Park, the home of Aston Villa Football Club. And then we saw, obviously, the Royal, I think it's an art house in London, if I'm not mistaken, a massive iftar that happened there. Now, let's go 15 or even 20 years back. This would never have happened in these institutions or in the United Kingdom. The tide is changing, isn't it? And that's the beauty of Islam and the beauty of Ramadan.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, for different reasons. First of all, commercial reasons. We have so many supermarkets now. For example, one of our biggest supermarket chains is now sponsoring the big iftar, some of the big iftars, and they see a lot. The Muslim pound is very important, because Muslims generally don't drink alcohol, they don't gamble, so they're much more they've got more disposable income, and people are aware of this. So the other reason, I think, is that religion generally is facing a crisis in Europe, and especially in the UK at the moment. We had our 10-yearly census recently that showed a rapid decline in adherence to Christianity. For example, the established church is the Church of England. And for the first time in history, the Church of England, adherents to the Church of England are now in a minority. They're a minority faith in their own country. Islam is not the majority faith. It is growing, but we are still a very small minority. We're only about 3 million Muslims, I think, in the UK. And the majority of people actually are adherents to no religion. So the ground is open for us. So, it's ripe for us to be promoting Islam. And Ramadan is one of the important times because, for example, my daughter is the head of English at one of the schools here in Windsor, and she was asked to give a talk on Ramadan at the assembly. And she explained that Ramadan is not just about being on a diet, getting hungry and thirsty. It's about taming your lower self. It's about training yourself, disciplining yourself, uh, uh, avoiding bad language and losing your temper and so forth. And people were fascinated. And the principal publicly said she was going to start fasting. She wanted to just try Ramadan and see how it goes. And several of the children put up hands, and they all wanted to join in with the fast. So it's been an exciting time. And as you say, for the last 20, 30 years now, I think despite all the hostility, despite the negative media campaigns and so on, this is Allah's religion, and Allah has promised that Allah will protect his religion. And many, many people, I'm told that something like 10,000 people come to Islam from the British public every year. And out of those, 80% of them are women. Despite all the negativity of the hijab and all the other things, this is something, a very exciting time to be in Britain at this time.
Definitely, alhamdulillah. I want to bring your wife Miriam into the conversation. I know I've been told that originally you guys are from Cape Town, so let's get an idea of how different Ramadan is in Surrey to what it is in Cape Town.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for having me. I think we as women, we always yearn back to the way it was, and we try and recreate that wherever we find ourselves in the world. And that was initially what I tried to do, trying to send in Cape Town, I'm sure you're aware, we cook, and from what we have cooked for that day, we send it around to our neighbors, and the neighbors do the same. Well, I didn't have Muslim neighbors around me, so I sent it around to my Christian neighbors. And they asked, what was this for? That gave us an opening to explain them about Ramadan and about our religion. They found it very fascinating. And so friendships between ourselves and the host community was built that way. So Ramadan is an occasion where we can really put our religion on show, because it's a time when those who are working, and when I was still working, people are curious. We are eating and drinking, but you are not. Why is this so? And it gives us an opportunity to explain about this beauty of our religion, that it is the one thing that Allah asked for us, that Allah said, our rewards are waiting for us in the year after. Everything else that we do, the rewards are clear for us. Your zakah, your charity that you give, your salah, your dhikr that you make, so many sawabs you get. But fasting, that Allah would hold from you, and you get it in the year after. And people of belief, no belief, find this so fascinating. For example, on a Friday when I cook, I have a lady who comes in and helps me cleaning up, doing the big jobs. And she would hear Surah Kahf being recited, and she would hear Surah Yasin. And one day she came to me, she's an English woman, paka English. And she said to me, Maria, I don't know what that man is singing, but whatever he's singing is going straight into my heart. She said, I can feel how it moves me. And I said to her, you know, I'm not surprised that you say that to me, because what you are listening to is the heart of the Quran. And I am not surprised that it's going straight into your heart. And since then, we're talking about, every time she comes, about religion. And she said to me, you know, I don't have a religion, because it didn't make sense to me. But when you speak to me about religion, I can see this is a religion that I can adhere to. So who knows? Allah is the one who gives hidayah.
Definitely.
But
Mariam, Mariam, I'm going to have to stop you there. Unfortunately, I wish we had more time to continue, but we have to continue with the programming. Arshad, Mariam, we'd like to say Jazakallah to you for joining us. And do enjoy the rest of your Ramadan, and hopefully we will speak to you soon, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.